Shea, Jackson Clump, and Hayden Singer. Ronnie Mauricio, top prospect coming up. Look at his numbers in 61 games in the big leagues last year. You go back a couple of years ago, this team had Brett Baty. You had the likes of Francisco Alvarez, Ronnie Mauricio. I remember having a conversation with you in the offseason about this team and positional group that's come up through the system. He's been one of those guys.
He has, and we talked about the activity of the New York Mets this offseason. Dante Bichette, Marcus Semien. And much like the Red Sox, that's created depth in the organization, making this Triple-A roster full of major league quality players.
Mauricio out in front of the changeup, 2-2.
Boy, that changeup is something. Late on the fastball, ahead of the changeup. That's a recipe for success for Jake Bennett. We know the changeup is his best off-speed offering, at least coming into the season.
Mauricio through the right side and a base hit. There's a fastball up in the zone. Mauricio shot it the other way. And a 2-out base runner for Syracuse.
Went up, and you can see where Matt Theis was set up. He wanted that in on the hands of Mauricio, and Jake Bennett just missed out over the middle of the plate and up in the zone. You can still see what that changeup does to the swing. Mauricio's still not quite on time for the fastball, despite it not being 93 miles an hour. And the changeup making the fastball play up, and the extension also makes the fastball play up. So you're looking at a guy who, you know, that's a big reason he has not given up a whole lot of loud contact in his career so far.
We're now facing another lefty in Ryan Clifford. Mets have 4 lefties in their lineup today. There's Mickey Gasper back for his second go around in the organization, holding on Mauricio at first. Ryan Clifford, the man at the plate right now, top 5 prospect in the Mets system coming into the season. As he pops it foul out of play.
Interesting with Jake Bennett, Jim. You look at his splits from a year ago, he actually had a lot more success against right-handers than lefties. All 3 of the home runs that he gave up last year were against left-handed hitters.
Look at the power at Double-A for Clifford a season ago. 24 bombs. Hooks this down the line. It's a foul ball.
Why not by much? That was close.
First base umpire Derek Thomas making the call.
Went down and got this breaking ball. Still a little bit too much in the middle of the plate, and I think that Bennett would want on an 0-2 pitch. Even though it was down, it gave Clifford the chance to circle that ball and get his barrel out in front. I think we talked about the left-right splits too. And I think that's a product of having a great changeup that plays better against right-handers, and he's going to be tested with breaking balls against lefties.
Clifford strikes out, so Bennett ends up K'ing the side, works around the 2-out single, and strands Ronnie Mauricio at first.
Here in Triple-A before the Mets eventually kind of needed him at the big league level.
3-1 to Sogard. Is a strike.
Draws a lot of comps to Tim Lincecum. And those numbers are something. Those are the type of numbers that'll get you pitcher of the year in the minor leagues.
162 Ks in 20 starts. Sogard drills it to right. Pache is there to make the grab. Good at bat for Sogard, but he is out number 1 of the bottom of the first.
I'm sure Sogi would love to get off to a better start than he got off to a season ago. Still ended up with very good numbers by the end of the year. A lot of intriguing names up and down this lineup, Jim, and perhaps none more so than the guy stepping in right now.
It's Christian Campbell. Campbell Campbell looking to bounce back. See his numbers with the Woo Sox last year. Very respectable line. Talked to Chad Tracy about Christian's year pregame. And he said, you look at the numbers, they were still good. Wasn't up to what he wanted. After that outstanding start of the big leagues, made the opening day roster, was the starting second baseman in Arlington against the Rangers, and then proceeded to win American League Rookie of the Month in April as he spoils this offering from Tong. But then he struggled, ended up getting optioned to Triple-A in June, spent the rest of the season here, worked on a bunch of different things, played a bunch of different positions, but that's a point of emphasis coming into 2026. As Campbell lays off. It seems like, at least to start the season, of course, we'll have the caveat of things could obviously change, but it seems like for right now he's an outfielder.
That's what it sounds like, both he and Nate Eaton.
Campbell bounces it foul.
I think it's only going to benefit him, though, right? I mean, so much was thrown at him last year, making the opening day roster as the second baseman, having all the successes you mentioned, and then coming here, playing all over the diamond, and, you know, really in his own mind, trying to get back to the big leagues. It's kind of a reset. Let's focus on the outfield. Let's get the swing going again. I don't think there's any doubt within the organization that he will play a major role in Boston at some point. There's still a ton of confidence in this guy.
This is someone who is the minor league player of the year in 2024. I want to talk about meteoric rise. That was the case with Campbell too, as he fouls off another here, battling against Jonah Tong. And of course, with the contract extension that he signed just prior to opening day, 8 years, $60 million. That obviously attracted a lot of eyeballs and put a lot of attention on Christian Campbell. Up and in, and from 0-2, Campbell has worked it full.
Good at bat so far. And I thought Trace brought up a great point when we talked to him earlier, Chad Tracy, which is that for all the focus on all those things, he still swung the bat, when you look at his line, pretty well here in Worcester.
On a 3-2, Campbell spoils another offering from Tong. This will be the 10th pitch of this at bat.
He's fought off a couple of tough changeups, took a really good changeup below the zone on 0-2, and here fights off that swing and miss offering from Tong on 3-2 to keep the at bat alive.
Campbell lifts it foul. One thing that we noticed last year at Triple-A is that pitchers trying to attack him inside. They exploited that weakness. That was something that he continually worked on with the staff. Pitch number 11 is bounced up the middle. Mauricio near the bag, wings to first. Two very lengthy at bats out of Sogard and Campbell to bump that pitch count upwards of 20, two batters in.
It's an out, but it's a tremendous at bat for Christian Campbell. And you brought up a great point about swing decisions, right? How often do we hear that phrase? We hear it a lot, but there's a lot of credence to it.
Two down for Mickey Gasper, the Merrimack, New Hampshire native. Rounds it sharply but foul. Mickey Gasper, originally with the Red Sox organization in 2024. And you could say the same with them. Talk about bursting onto the scene. 27th round pick by the Yankees out of Bryant back in 2018. Made his big league debut with the Red Sox 2 years ago. Then was traded to the Twins on Christmas Eve of 2024 for Giovanni Moran. Gasper back after he was claimed off waivers. Low and away, 1-2.
Good take on that changeup. Another, again, major league quality position player in a Woo Sox uniform to start the season. Long lineup here for Chad Tracy.
A lot of experience on this Woo Sox team, not only this year, but over the course of the last 5 years. That's strike 3. Gasper's going to challenge, our first one of the season. Of course, that is new to Major League Baseball, as we've seen the last 2 days. And it's a successful challenge for Mickey Gasper.
Boy, an easy challenge. But one thing we see as the year wound along last year, Jim, is the challenges start to get closer and closer to the zone. That's an easy challenge for Mickey Gasper, who's a catcher. He knows the zone as well as anybody on the field right now.
Upstairs for ball 4. So how about that at bat for Mickey Gasper? He falls behind 0-2. A successful challenge to overturn strike 3 to ball 3. And he ends up working a walk.
3 really good at bats so far. I mean, Nick Sogard working it to a full count. Eventually, hit the ball hard out to right field, almost to the warning track. The 11 pitch at bat for Campbell. And then, as you mentioned, Gasper in a hole. Took some tough changeups, won a challenge, and keeps this inning going. And we saw what happened with the Red Sox yesterday in their opener with Roman Anthony winning a challenge and keeping an inning going. We'll see if the Woo Sox can do it here.
That was absolutely massive for the Red Sox to pad their lead in Cincinnati. But now Nate Eaton. Great to have him back in his second year in the organization. Season he had in 2024. Not only here with the Woo Sox, but in the big leagues. Ended up playing in over 40 games with the Red Sox, hit nearly 300. And he impressed in the postseason in the 3-game wild card series against the Yankees. It was great to see, wasn't it? Nate Eaton and Nick Sogard. Woo Sox fixtures playing a big role in the playoffs.
No doubt. I mean, I think it was pretty obvious after a month or so. We knew the Red Sox had a steal on their hands with this guy a year ago, right? I mean, he impacts the game in so many ways. I think you like to see the green light on 3-0, right? Be aggressive. I mean, you're facing a guy who's got big-time strikeout stuff. You get a chance to jump him, go ahead and do it.
3-1. Ball 4. So back-to-back walks after the line out and the ground out. Woo Sox putting together some quality at bats against Jonah Tong.
All 4 plate appearances have gone to 3 balls. You know, it's not always about how hard you're able to hit the baseball. It's about grinding at bats out. And not only is this going to have an impact, this inning going to have an impact on whatever the Woo Sox do here. It's going to have an impact 1, 2, 3 innings down the line, because now all of a sudden Jonah Tong, who at this point has already thrown 28 pitches, it's all of a sudden into some high stress situation, and you've got the bullpen going. If you're able to get into the bullpen early in the series, that really sets things up for the rest of the weekend.
A.J. Sager, the pitching coach, out to chat with Tong. Especially this early in the season for a guy of his ilk. Can't be too careful. Eaton and Gasper aboard for Mikey Romero. He'll take a strike. That was a fastball at 94 at the top of the zone. Jonah Tong had told reporters recently that he's added a cutter to his repertoire. As Romero comes up empty. So far, Tong has sat around 94 with that fastball. I've seen a couple cutters. Mikey Romero, certainly a name to watch here in 2026. Up and away, a ball and 2 strikes.
Mikey Romero hit the ball as hard as anybody in the Red Sox system not named Roman Anthony, or harder, I should say. Produced some of the best exit velocities amongst Red Sox minor leaguers. We saw that here at Polar Park the last 2 months of the season.
In fact, he was second on the team in average exit velocity on the season, behind only Roman Anthony. I remember talking to Chad Tracy at one point after Romero came up. He said it was amazing that he was hitting beneath the Mendoza line because it felt like he was spraying the baseball all over the field. As he hits this one sharply on a hop to Christian Arroyo. High throw. It Clifford, a big target over there at first, with the Blue Sox stranded pair. Scoreless after one. Special guest joining. Teased a special guest, and here he with the ceremonial first pitch with your former battery mate and Rich Gedman catching your first pitch. It's the 40 years since the 20 strikeout game.
Crazy.
You had some great remarks about Getty. What does he mean to you? What did he mean to you as a player?
He meant so much to me because I was extremely young, right off the campus of the University of Texas, and Getty made me feel extremely comfortable on the mound. He made everything I threw to him look like a strike. Great hands. Had obviously 24-year guys in my career. I had some wonderful catchers, but none of them paid attention to detail like Getty did. And I always teased him. We were kind of pitch calm before pitch calm. I called about 90 to 95% of my game from the mound, and Getty sometimes he wouldn't even call put a signal down. He'd just go, "Come on." he would call me Texas. He said, "Come on, Texas, let's go."
I'm curious about that, Roger. The first 20 strikeout game 40 years ago, as Christian Arroyo leads things off, and he grounds one to third. Nick Selgaard throws him out. You hear sometimes, right, that there are starters that'll go to the bullpen. They won't feel great, but then once the game starts, they throw pretty well, and then sometimes vice versa. I know that that's not a blanket statement, but I'm curious, for you that night, did you feel something special warming up in the bullpen, or how did you feel going into that start?
I was horrible in the bullpen, and go back a little bit earlier, I almost missed the game. I got caught in traffic in Storrow Drive, guys, and I almost missed it. It was insane. I didn't throw a strike warming up. Getty was like, "Wow, we're going to have to get a long man ready immediately, probably." And I got out on the main mound in front of the fans, and they brought some life to me, and the rest is history.
At what point, kind of during that game, did you kind of appreciate what was going on, or are you pretty much locked in from the time you toe the rubber?
Yeah, I was locked in. I had no idea about a strikeout record until we got to like 16 or 17. They flashed it on the scoreboard that I had just set a Red Sox strikeout record. So I had no clue what was going on, and then my pitching coach Bill Fisher, he was the best of the best because he was he preached no walks, and I think that's probably why I never threw a no-hitter in my career.
Line to center, Christian Campbell will have it hang up for him.
And Fish stressed us to throw the ball over the plate.
Yep.
Don't walk guys. I told the media earlier today that I still believe Bill Fisher, my pitching coach, holds the record to this day, I think 91 consecutive innings without a walk.
Wow.
I think Greg Maddux said he was going to break it, tried to break it one time, and he got in the 80s and then ended up walking a guy. So, but yeah, Fish loved that I had 20 strikeouts, but he was more proud that I didn't walk a batter in the game.
What we think is amazing, because Alex and I were talking about this before the game started, is that then you did it again a decade later. I mean, that had to have felt very cool.
Yeah, that was another one. Billy Hasselman, Hass was behind the plate for that one. And if you watch highlights of that game, we were in Detroit. My two-seamer and my split were, it was like I was throwing a wiffle ball in there. It was moving all over the place. So that was a great deal of fun, too. And I didn't realize that till the end of the game either, that I'd built up that many strikeouts.
Strike three on Pache. It's a 1-2-3 frame for Jake Bennett. That inning was way too quick. Can we keep you for the bottom of the second?
Sure. Absolutely.
Don't go anywhere. We're back with Roger Clemens right after this.
Wednesday home game.
Home half of the second. The Rocket on the video board at Polar Park, and the Rocket back with us in the broadcast booth. Jim Kane, Alex Jensen, Natalie Nuri with you. We were talking about the not one but two 20 strikeout games for Roger Clemens and his illustrious career. But back to 86, I want to talk about that team. Very special group, obviously, the 40-year anniversary. What, besides that great night in late April of 86, what are some other fond memories of that team?
The starting pitching was fantastic. Bruce Hurst, Oil Can Boyd, Al Nipper. We had guys that wanted the baseball, and they wanted to start the game, and they wanted to finish the game. And when our pitching coach would come out to the mound in the 5th, 6th inning, maybe we're having a tough go of it, we would tuck the baseball under our armpit and ask him, "What are you doing out here? Get back in the dugout. You know, well, I'm not coming out of this game." And but yeah, we had some great veterans. Like I said, Hursty. After the 20 strikeout game, Bruce Hurst gave me the nickname the Rocket, and that stuck obviously. But having Jim Rice, Big Jim Ed, and Dwight Evans, you know, we had some great veteran leaders, and they kind of showed me how to be a professional. They showed me how to be a professional, not just on the field, but off the field. So it was great having some veteran guys, and we really came together. Of course, we had the Chicken Man, Wade Boggs. That dude could hit. You know, when he woke up, he could hit in his pajamas, and so we had a great team, and it was just a fun-filled year.
Alan Castro leading things off for the Woo Sox. And he strikes out against Jonah Tong.
Went to the changeup quick, didn't he?
How about that?
Changeup's good pitch. Woo Sox have taken some tough ones today. Hey, when you look at the Red Sox now, you talk about all the great pitching you had in '86. The Red Sox, for the most part, have been known as a club since then that really bangs, but now they've got a lot of depth on the mound. So you look at the Red Sox now, do you kind of draw any comparisons to the group that you had?
Yeah, I mean, when you say it, first thing that comes to mind was after the 20 strikeout game and Bruce Hurst gave me a nickname, the Rocket, he also he looked at me and said, "You don't realize it, but your life just changed and our life just changed as players." He said that pitching was a second-class citizen until you got here. and so yeah, I think the Sox at the time were for years known as to bang it and score a bunch of runs and try and win 10-8, 10-9, and but we had, like I said, we had some pitchers and a great bullpen that the guys that wanted the baseball, and they were proud to be out there.
This pitch is outside to Sung Chae Cheng. Scoreless game, bottom of the second inning. We are joined by Roger Clemens here on opening day in Worcester. Cheng hits it sharply on the ground and into right field, a base hit. First knock of the day for the Woo Sox off Jonah Tong. Now this is your first time at Polar Park, but your son has played at Polar Park, Cody Clemens.
Yeah, Cody's been here. First time for me, but Cody came through here. And so I let him know I was coming. They have an off day. They play tomorrow in Baltimore. He's with the Minnesota Twins. Cody's pretty much a second baseman, but he plays a ton of first. Uh-oh, here we go.
Back to the mound. Tong looked at second, instead goes to first to get Theis, and Cheng up to second with 2 down.
Cody's like a hybrid. He'll play anywhere as long as bat's in the lineup, and so he loves it. And it's fun to watch him. Of course, he had a big game. We were all in Boston, and his first start in Boston, we came back and watched him. I think he hit a 2 or 3 run homer, and so that was pretty special. And everybody was rubbing it in that he's done 2 things in his career that I haven't done. He struck out. He had to pitch in a blowout game. He struck out Ohtani. I never did that. And of course, I never hit a home run at Fenway Park, so he let me know about it.
2 outs, a man at second for Braden Ward here in the home half of the second inning. One of the new faces on this Woo Sox roster. On the ground to second base, Jackson Clough, former Rochester Red Wing, throws him out, and the inning is over. Roger Clemens, thanks so much for coming up. It was great to meet you.
Good luck to y'all.
Thanks so
much. Appreciate y'all having me.
We are through 2 innings at Boulder Park. No score. You're on opening day in Worcester. Beautiful Friday afternoon here in the heart of the Commonwealth. Woo Sox and the Mets on opening day 2026, and from one special guest in the booth to another, we've got our good friend Steve Main from our friends at Citgo, our new friends at Citgo, a new partner with us here in 2026 and the presenting sponsor of opening day here at Boulder Park as the first pitch is grounded into the Woo Sox dugout off the bat of Jackson Clough. Thanks so much for coming up, Steve. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Truly, it's an honor.
So let's talk about Club Citgo, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, so Club Citgo, it's a fuel savings reward program. You know, it's really meant to just be able to type in your phone number at the pump, save 20 cents off per gallon for a first-time welcome offer, 3 cents per gallon minimum every single time after that.
And certainly in these economic times, saving money on gas, not a bad thing. I'm sure a lot of people looking to do that. This is popped up foul. Got to play.
What do you think of the new sign here at Boulder Park? We just saw it on the screen.
Oh, absolutely gorgeous. And again, you know, we love the people here, the partnership, everything about this town.
Yeah.
We just love being a part of it. You know, I'm from Houston, Texas, so coming up here, especially this gorgeous weather right now, it's just absolutely perfect.
Wow, so from one Texan and Roger Clemens to another and Steve Main. How about that? Back-to-back Texans up at the booth. This is strike 3 to Jackson Clough. That's now 5 Ks already for Jake Bennett. This one coming on the heater.
Yeah, perfect pitch. 5 of the first 8 punch outs for Jake Bennett.
Here's the 9-man Hayden Singer as he lifts one down the right field line. This will slice out of play.
Now, Steve, you guys are sounds like you're going to be giving away some gas here at some point soon.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So when you download the app and you're able to do the sweepstakes button right there on the home screen, we enter you for this free gas for a year. Again, another way for us to incentivize and tell people, hey, we really care about you. Come into our stations. Thank you for your, being part of our team here. It's a really great opportunity for them.
I think it's really cool going back to the Citgo sign. Now we have that symmetry, right, of having the Citgo sign at Fenway, by Lansdowne Street, and now you've got it in a similar part of the ballpark, just beyond the left field foul pole, the video board. Great to see from downtown as well. Seeing that go up this week was really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
One of the big new additions to Boulder Park here in 2026. This is downstairs. It's 1 ball and 1 strike on Singer, 28-year-old from Hamilton, Ohio. Went to the Miami of Ohio. It's in for a strike. So, okay, gas for a year sweepstakes. That's fantastic. But also tell us a little bit about Citgo Plus Pay.
Yeah, so Citgo Plus Pay, again, we get it. There, we have a wide variety of customers and people that want to take advantage of the fuel savings in the app. Citgo Plus Pay is a great addition to our mobile pay feature where, up here in the wintertime, you don't want to get out of your car, taking off, fumbling with the gloves, typing in a phone number. Mobile pay allows you to just pay from the inside of your comfort of your car.
Wow.
Plus Pays adds a bank account. That way you can, again, attach your bank account right to the app, extremely secure, able to get away with, there's no holds on your cars, nothing like that. And we also incentivize it with an additional discount, 10 cents off per gallon minimum.
In the left center field, that'll drop in for a base hit. Singer takes a turn, but will hold up at first base. That is hit number 2 for Syracuse today.
And for Jake Bennett, executed his pitch, maybe a little bit up and off the end of the bat. Still have not seen very many balls put in play, period, against Jake Bennett, but the ones that have not been hit very hard.
We're joined by Steve Main of Citgo here in the top half of the third. I want to go back to Citgo Plus Pay. So you're telling me if I'm a member, if I have the app, I can pay for my gas without having to get out of the car?
That's correct, yes, sir. Wow. You can authorize the pump right from the inside comforts of your vehicle. And again, we offer 10 cents off per gallon minimum when you're paying with ACH Plus Pay.
Wow. 10 cents per gallon.
That is big time.
That is
definitely
fantastic stuff. Our new friends at Citgo. Back to the top, MJ Melendez. So Jake Bennett, first time through the order, strikes out 5 of the 9 that he faces, surrenders 2 hits, both singles, to Ronnie Mauricio and Hayden Singer. No one offering. Melendez shoots it foul, and it's 0-2.
Sure, these times as well, Steve, you guys are trying to be creative, coming up with a lot of different ways, as you've outlined, that people can save at the pump.
Yes, sir, exactly. And, we understand there's other opportunities in there, too. Our life cycle marketing campaigns are a big hit amongst our consumers as well. Paying attention to, hey, how many times are you, getting gas a month? How can we continue to incentivize, get you some additional discounts?
Popped up. left center. Chang is there to put it away for out number 2.
And I mean, what you're describing to us, the Club Citgo, I mean, that sounds pretty unique, right, in the industry.
Yeah, you know, again, it's just one of those things that I think customers now, they're expecting. They want to be able to say, hey, look, what are you doing for my visits, my loyalty, you know, coming to visit these locations, and they want to know they're being taken care of. We pay attention to that.
2 down for Nick Morabito. That's in for a strike. So with 2 outs in the inning, Steve, seems like our time might be nearing an end. So for those at home watching, is there anything else that people should know about Citgo?
Again, you know, we really care about our customers. When you download the app, you get a 20-cent welcome offer for a first-time fill-up, 3 cents per gallon minimum after that. ACH Plus Pay is a great, secure way to pay from the comforts of your car via mobile pay. 10 cents per gallon minimum every single time.
Alex, I know what I'm doing once this inning ends. I'm going to the App Store on my smartphone. I'm downloading the Citgo app, linking up that ACH, trying to take advantage of all that Steve and our good friends at Citgo have to offer.
No question. I think that everybody obviously could use some savings at the pump. Be crazy not to, right?
It's a no-brainer. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Nick Morabito, who was a strikeout victim his first time. Went down waving at a changeup from Jake Bennett. Morabito, sandwich round pick back in 2022. 40-man guy for these Mets. Rolled foul, and we will do it again. Is your first time at Polar Park?
Yes, sir, it is.
Wow, what do you think?
Oh, beautiful, absolutely. Now we got a little bit of the sunshine coming out, too.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful for opening day.
Yeah.
You got the jersey, you got the Woo Sox
Yes,
jersey.
sir.
Here you
Oh,
go. Hooked up, ready to
Believe
go,
me, it's
man.
in my blood now.
That's terrific. Well, welcome. As Morabito takes down and in. Are you from the area?
Originally, I'm actually from north
From
of Pittsburgh.
Texas? Oh, from Pittsburgh.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Been
sir.
all over
I've
the place.
lived in Texas now for 3 years.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Wow.
How you finding the heat down there?
Oh, my goodness. You know, you wake up, it's like walking through soup, but you know what? I'll do it.
Then it's 2-2. In the air to right, down the line. Over is Eaton, but he runs out of real estate as that lands in the Surfside Sunday.
Well, if you get a chance, you could send some of that heat up our way. Not too much, but some of it. I know what that
Exactly.
Texas humidity is like, man. Texas heat and humidity.
Yes, sir.
It is something. Walking in soup is like the perfect description.
Joined by Steve Main of Citgo here in the 3rd. Runner takes off on a bouncer left side. It's Chang who scoops and slings to first to retire the side. Steve Main of Citgo, thanks so much for stopping by. Thank you. As we touched on with Nate Eaton, Nick Sogard certainly made an impact in the postseason last year. As he's out in front of this changeup, count even at 2-2.
The Woo Sox done a good job laying off that changeup. That's the best one I think we've seen from Jonah Tong. That huge hit he had too in the wild card round too, Jim. His whole game was on display right there.
The base running as well.
The
Things
base
that we've
running.
seen the last 5 years too.
The baseball instincts to take that extra base, you know, knowing it's not a great arm in center field, and that set the stage for Masataka Yoshida's eventual game-winning hit.
Don't talk to Yankees fans about Aaron Judge and his arm strength. Broken bat roller right side. Clifford takes it himself. And Nick Sogard is now 0 for 2.
There you see the cutter from Tong. You mentioned it earlier. That one really rode in on the hands of Sogard. Kind of ate him up. And boy, if Jonah Tong can find that glove side breaking pitch, Jim, to complement the fastball and change, I think you're really working with something, obviously. You know, he's got the outstanding fastball and the outstanding changeup. He just needs something to move into lefties away from righties to really enhance those other two offerings when you're navigating a lineup 2-3 times.
Tong credits the pitching development staff of the Mets of helping him implement that pitch during spring training. Worked a lot with Hayden Singer in the Grapefruit League, his battery mate today. Facing Christian Campbell for the second time. Campbell had an outstanding at bat his first time before he bounced out to shorts. So 11 pitches. Got some misses here at high heats, 1 and 2.
It's that riding fastball at the top of the zone. Good take.
You and I were talking about the arc of Jonah Tong's career, specifically last year. And I think there are a lot of similarities between him and Peyton Tolley, not in terms of the stature or the characteristics physically, but just in terms of how their seasons unfolded a year ago. They both made their major league debuts on the same day, August 29th. They both absolutely shoved. Jonah Tong, 5 innings of 1-run ball against the Marlins. And Peyton Tolley in that big Friday night matchup at Fenway against Paul Skeens and the Pirates. He was terrific. As Campbell hits it in the air down the line. Pache drifting towards the corner, little leap towards the wall, and he puts it away. So Campbell works at full for his second straight at bat, but he is out number 2.
There's the cutter again, front door. You're right, both were kind of, you don't want to say off the radar, because both not top 100 prospects. Both are now, in fact, Jonah Tong was not on MLB Pipeline's top 30 list for the New York Mets at the start of last year. Both meteoric rises. I mean, kind of different pitchers, right, to your point, but found themselves in the exact same spot by the end of the year.
It's a very unique delivery for Tong. See shades of former Giants Tim Lincecum, whom he idoled and watched a lot growing up. Bullpen activity for the Woo Sox. Curveball drops in for a strike. It's Seth Martinez. Still trying to manage a lot of these guys. Chad Tracy saying don't expect 80 to 90 pitches first time through for guys like Bennett or Tyler Huberstein or Peyton Tolley. Strike 3 call. Gasper down looking. And it's a 1-2-3 third for Jonah Tong. Scoreless after 3. On to the 4th.
Top of the 4th inning, and we have a bit of a Woo Sox baby boom on our hands as a few of our coworkers here in Worcester, their households grew by 1 in just the past month. As we take a look at these adorable faces, Jim Kane and wife Kelly introduced baby Jameson on February 9th. Alex Jensen and wife Sammy welcoming a baby girl Lucy, born February 12th, and general manager Brooke Cooper and husband Ellis welcoming baby boy Warren on March 1st. I have to say, I love the face Lucy's making there. Alex may be a career as a broadcaster ahead of her with all that expression, but congratulations to you two, both first-time parents. Brooke, she's a vet at home with 2 boys already, but so much fun there. I do have to ask, though, Alex, maybe we can start with you. When will Lucy's first trip to the ballpark be?
That's going to be coming up soon, Natalie. I'm thinking maybe 3rd homestand, 2nd, 3rd, maybe wait for it to get a little bit warmer, right? But man, thank you, Natalie. It's so exciting. Congratulations to you, Jim.
Oh, congratulations to you, Alex.
To our general manager, Brooke Cooper. We have a new starting 9 of Woo Sox on the way up through the minors, I guess you could say, right?
Watch out, Christian Campbell, Nick Sogard, and Nate Eaton.
So much fun. Ronnie Mauricio is leading off the 4th inning against Jake Bennett. Pitch number 56 for the lefty is cued up the first base side foul. 5 strikeouts for Bennett. Mauricio, one of the 2 Syracuse hits in today's game so far. Line drive single to right field with 2 outs in the first. Stays alive on a changeup. Be followed by Clifford and Arroyo, 3, 4, and 5 in the Syracuse lineup. The brain trust of the Woo Sox looking on. Chad Tracy second from the right in his 5th year at the helm of the Woo Sox. Mauricio in the air down the left field line. Long run for Braden Ward toward the corner, and that's going to drift onto the Shaw's Visitors bullpen terrace underneath the brand new Hanover deck. with the roof over top.
Yeah, he gets under this a little bit. Breaking ball from Bennett. I did see Seth Martinez warming. He's still up.
Back to the mound. Bennett cannot handle it. And Mauricio will reach. A little tapper out in front of the mound, and Bennett trying to charge. Look, he got caught on a middle hop and just whiffed with the leather.
Another look here. Weak contact, and he just whiffed on it. Not sure if maybe the shadows had anything to do with it. Took a couple steps in, but just couldn't glove it.
Well, that's going to do it for Jake Bennett. The Woo Sox are going to the bullpen. The Mets with the leadoff man aboard here in the fourth.
Good stuff. Good life on the fastball, especially on a cold day like today.
Yeah.
A good feel for the changeup too, which is not an easy thing to demonstrate again on a brisk day like today.
That's right. Here's Seth Martinez. Along with those numbers at Jacksonville, also made 6 appearances for the Marlins in the big leagues. Veteran right-hander, 31 years old. Nice play by Tice to keep Mauricio at first base. A scoreless game here in the fourth. Seth Martinez, 117 career major league appearances with the Astros and Miami. Came over on a minor league deal in January of this year. 1-1 to Clifford. Check on Mauricio. Mauricio reaching, by the way, on an error. Has ruled an error on Jake Bennett on the comebacker. Clifford struck out swinging to end the first. Excellent power. Runner goes again. The pitch taken for a strike. Theis's throw is not in time, and Mauricio has a steal of second base. But got a great jump, and Theis did well to make that close.
He certainly did. Give him a lot of credit. This was a breaking ball at 77 miles an hour. To make this as close as it was, that's a testament to Matt Theis. Wow, very close.
1-2 to Clifford. He'll ground this one to first. This will get the runner to third. Gasper to Martinez covering the bag, and that's the first out here in the fourth. But the Mets are in position to take the lead with Mauricio now at third base and 1 out.
This is the definition of small ball, an old school National League style of ball, right? You put a ball in play, albeit a misplay by the pitcher, a stolen base, and Ryan Clifford, as they say, does a job here. Goes down and gets the changeup. Woo Sox will certainly take the out.
So the Woo Sox will bring the infield in now for Christian Arroyo. He'll take ball one. Bounced out to third base in the second inning. An injury-plagued last 2 seasons for Arroyo. Just 45 games in the Phillies organization a year ago with the Iron Pigs. Fouls this one off his foot. Former Woo Sox, of course. Last played in the big leagues with the Red Sox, Christian Arroyo, in 2023. This does not feel good.
Nope. Very painful. Right off the kneecap, it looked like. Yeah, inside of the left knee. And it was 42 degrees at first pitch about an hour ago. And Dick Scott, the trainer, had to come check on him. And it's not fun. I don't care if it's in the 40s, if it's in the 80s, whatever the temperature. You foul a ball off your knee, it's going to hurt.
45 degrees here at Polar Park as we speak. Knock on wood, we should stay dry this weekend, Jim, but temperatures will dip a little bit lower tomorrow. So Arroyo's going to stay in there. 1-1. Tapped foul. Hamstring and hand injuries for Christian Arroyo last year with Lehigh Valley. In 2024, the Brewers organization was slowed by a wrist injury. 1-2. And Arroyo will bounce it foul. He's talked in the past, Arroyo has, about how he's gotten to a good place mentally, not worrying too much about what's coming next or wanting more, staying in the moment. Another 1-2. Popped up, foul. And I think, for Christian Arroyo, that's what's made these last 2 seasons so frustrating, is when he has been on the field, he's played well. 314 a year ago with Lehigh Valley, 5 homers, 14 doubles, and 869 OPS in 45 games. Just has not been able to stay on the field. Another 1-2. Good battle here. And Martinez misses up and in.
Well, Alex, Red Sox fans certainly know that very well with Christian Arroyo. You go back to 2021. I mean, this guy, he was their second baseman, part of that playoff run into the ALCS. An extremely productive player.
On the ground to short, Chang backhand, looks the runner back. Nice play. Sung-Chae Chang, a great defender at shortstop, known for his glove. Made a nice play there to keep this game scoreless.
No doubt about that, Alex. This is a guy who, according to Baseball America, was voted as the best defensive infielder in the Pirates farm system going into last season. That's exactly why you have the infield in. And the man at third in less than 2 outs makes a nice play. Cool, calm, and collected is Chang.
Here's Jose Rojas. 2 outs, Mauricio at third. Rojas puts a drive into this one to right center field. Eaton on the run, turning around, and it's gone. Jose Rojas continues to terrorize the Woo Sox, even in different colors. A 2-run shot here in the 4th inning, and the Mets have a 2-0 lead.
Well, you go back to last year. See this again. This is center cut. Can't leave a pitch in that spot to a guy like Jose Rojas. Dylan Beavers ended up winning an IL MVP of the Norfolk Tides. But boy, from watching Jose Rojas time and time again, sure felt like he should have won MVP of this league last year with the Rail Riders.
Hey, that's because he had his way with Woo Sox pitching as Christian Pache fouls the first pitch from Seth Martinez back to the screen. Last year against the Woo Sox in 17 games for Rojas, 403, 5 homers, 16 driven in, and an OPS north of 1,200.
Yeah, that'll play.
0-1 to Pache, strikeout victim in his first at bat.
Every team needs a collection of veteran guys like that, right? Jose Rojas, he's not a top prospect, not a blue chip prospect by any means, but a productive guy and someone that some of the younger players on this roster can learn from.
There's a good sweeper from Seth Martinez.
We've seen it time and time again, whether it's here, guys like Yolmer Sanchez, Rob Refsnyder, Eddie Alvarez, Trace Thompson are guys that come to mind. Jose Rojas is of the same ilk, in my opinion.
Pache swings and misses, and down he goes. So the inning is over, but Jose Rojas does the damage for Syracuse. A 2-run shot. Tong, pitch number 62, is swung right through. Fastball at 94 from Jonah Tong. 12 homers with the Woo Sox a year ago for Eaton. 15 stolen bases, 25 doubles, 55 ribbies, batted .296 with the Red Sox in 41 games. Takes that change up, and it's 2-1. And Romero and Castro to follow. Woo Sox with 1 hit so far. That was a 1-out single by Sung-Chae Chang in the second. Since then, Tong has sat down 5 straight. Bullpen is quiet for Syracuse as Eaton spoils this 2-2 pitch. and stays alive.
Which is a bit surprising in my opinion, because you go back to that first inning, that was quite laborious. As you see the 100-hit seasons of Woo Sox history, Nate Eaton finding himself on that list after what he did last year.
Eaton nicks this one foul into the glove of Singer, and he is down on strikes. Third strikeout for Tong.
Not his best changeup, but still fooled Nate Eaton, who was out in front. But back to Tong. He throws 33 pitches in that first inning, and boy, has he settled in.
The Woo Sox are brought to you by Convenient MD Urgent Care, Major League care for your minor league injuries. Mikey Romero digs in and takes ball one. Well, you look at what the Mets did in the offseason, Jim, and the acquisition of Freddie Peralta, and not only did it help bolster their rotation in the big leagues, as Romero hits this one hard on the ground at first, but it's picked up on one hop by Clifford. And he'll take care of Mikey. 2 outs here in the fourth, but it really offers Tong some more time to season down here at Triple-A. A lot of people felt he wasn't ready for his promotion a year ago and struggled to the tune of an ERA over 7 after his first start. He's a big piece of their future.
No doubt. And I think in hindsight, with the benefit of hindsight, now you could probably say that he was rushed through the system last year. Only 2 starts here at Triple-A.
Alan Castro, a big swing.
But obviously there's a ton of talent there. The Mets really like this guy. Yeah, you hear this so often throughout the game now, especially here with the Red Sox, but I think it's true with the Mets. You want to build depth. You just look at last year. Red Sox ended up having, I think it was upwards of 15 different guys who started a game. And that's the way the game is now in 2026. You need at least 10, maybe 12 starting pitchers in your system.
0-2 to Castro. He spits on a changeup. Well, that's part of the reason that the Mets went out and got David Stearns. Did that time and time again with Milwaukee. Trying to do the same thing in New York. 1-2 to Alan Castro, and he's down on strike. Second time Tong has fanned Castro, and Jonah Tong all of a sudden has sat down 8 Woo Sox in a row. The Woo Sox go down in order and trail 2-0. I'm going to buy some time. Good change up there from Martinez to jump ahead 1-2.
All right, you're out of time. It was Sunday night baseball.
I was going to go.
Okay, all
was
right.
it at Fenway?
It was at Fenway
All right.
Park in September of 2007.
Who was he pitching for? Was it the Astros?
It was the Yankees.
The Yankees. Swing and a miss. Clough down on strikes. So Martinez bounces back after the home run by Rojas. 2 straight strikeouts. Clough has K'd twice. Here comes Hayden Singer.
Well, Seth Martinez certainly won't remind you of the Rocket in terms of the velocity. It's really quite the opposite. A bunch of junk there. Sweepers and changeups, but still very effective to strike out Clough.
He'll face the catcher Hayden Singer and deliver strike 1. It's an interesting repertoire for Seth Martinez. As a reliever, throws 5 different pitches. Sweeper, 4-seam cutter, changeup, and a sinker. One of several bullpen arms on this Woo Sox team with major league time. There's a strike. 1-2. Hayden Singer, 33 games a year ago in the big leagues with the Metropolitans. Batted 181. 1-2. Got him on the outside corner. Singer thought about a challenge, elected not to, and Seth Martinez has racked up 3 straight Ks following the home run.
And all 3 have come on the sweeper, his breaking ball. That's pain. Nice job by Theis, too, to frame that. Interesting when you look at the velocity today, averaging about 89, heavy on the sweeper, and why not? It's been very effective.
Back to the top of the lineup now for MJ Melendez. Final line, by the way, for Jake Bennett. Gave up that unearned run due to the error in the 4th. All told, 3+ innings, 2 hits, no walks, 5 strikeouts. Melendez a check swing, and that catches the inside corner. Only had 1 challenge so far today. Pretty close, but I think you went around. That one taken high. Now, one thing that I believe, if I read this right, is coming to the Pacific Coast League is challenges, correct, on check swings. Did I read that correct?
Yeah.
On the Pacific Coast League, you'll be able to challenge a check swing. There's a strike, 2-2.
I believe that's something they were toying with at lower levels, or maybe in the Atlantic League, which is one of the MLB Dream Partner Leagues a year or 2 ago. And now you're starting to see it creep closer and closer to the big leagues. I still think that particular aspect is probably a few years away, but it's certainly coming.
2-2 to Melendez. Inside. Well, if they can figure out a way to make it similar to the process of the ABS, because that's been a hit. It has not interrupted the flow of the game at all. It's been quick. It's been easy to implement. Here's the 3-2 pitch. That one golfed down the right field line. Eaton on the run, and it's going to land in foul territory. Especially when you run into, in the minor leagues, less than a 4-man crew, and you have to make that appeal behind the mound. I mean, there's just no way that the umpire back there can tell whether it was a swing or not.
That's a great point. We have a 4-man crew today, but that is the exception. 3/4 to 80% of the time. That is not the case here in the International League.
Another 3-2 bounced on the right side. Mikey Romero picks it up, and that's a 1-2-3. Top of the 5th for Seth Martinez. 4.5 in the books on opening day from Polar Park.